You knew it was gonna
My
happen. I
job
knew
was
it would
done.
too, but I was not ready for it.
I don't think anyone is really ready for it if you really think about it.
I
Like I
know.
don't. It's
It just
like
happens.
yeah, it just happens. It's funny because like hi everyone, welcome back to Feelings to Unfold podcast. I'm Christina.
I'm Maribel.
Last week we talked about family, Filipino pride, and pretty much like how we kind of grew up and how much our family has influenced a lot of our decisions and kind of shaping who we are today in a way. And this week we thought, let's take a little different turn. We're gonna expose ourselves a little bit more as K-pop stans, fangirl a little bit, have a little fun with this episode because it feels like it's a little bit of a change of atmosphere, I guess. I would say, I guess, But so Maribel, for my first question, what group or groups do you like and why?
Well, I would say that my top three. Can I do top three? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. My top three is BTS, Ateez, and Stray Kids. Do you want to say your top three?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say why,
Well, I don't
but
know
I
if you
could
want to
say
mention
first.
yours too first, and then we
Okay.
can talk about.
Okay. Well, I guess since you said top three, I'll go with top three too. My top three would be 17, BTS, and MonstaX. Yeah. This is why I thought you were gonna say like why after yours, because like I'm
Well,
about
I
to say
just feel
after like
like if we talk about why, we're gonna say a lot, or it might
that's
lead
okay.
to other things. So I wanted
Okay.
to make sure that you said yours
Okay.
too.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, well, why don't you go first with your why do you like those three groups?
Well, first, BTS is really special to me because Camille is like the whole reason that I got into them. And if I didn't get into them, then I wouldn't have like gotten into K-pop. You know, it started with them, and it started with Camille, so they mean a lot to me. And Ateez, I really like them. I got into them a lot because of their dancing. Mostly is how it started. I just really loved their performances, their choreography, and as a dancer, it's like I really appreciate it because I want to dance like that. Like I just love it. And
Are good
Stray
dancers.
Kids, yeah, Stray Kids. I got into them actually because of ATs. I watched this show called Kingdom Legendary War, and
Yeah.
yeah, they were on it too. So I ended up liking them a lot from that too. What about you?
Yeah. Oh, feels like okay, maybe it makes sense why you did the whole stuff because now it feels like mine is like really reason, like the reason why it's like so long.
I know,
Like
that's why
I
I
don't
just
know,
wanted to
it's
like
weird.
shorten it too, and then we can get into it more.
I was like, oh, how do I shorten this? Okay, well,
I mean, I just said like how I got into them mostly, so if you just wanted to start with that too.
okay, well, mine is really funny, I guess, in a way, because like I've been like a K-pop stan for a really long time. And like, like my first group that I ever like was Big Bang, and then I kind of went on a hiatus with that, and, like just kind of listen here and there. But then Camille, my sister, she got me kind of back into it, and she showed me BTS, she showed me 17, she showed me a couple other groups. But like with BTS, it's funny because at first I didn't want to like them because I didn't want to jump into the whole like the bandwagon of the whole like, oh,
Yeah,
they're so
yeah.
amazing and all that. Like I didn't want to be part of that because they were just like starting off being popular when I kind of started listening to them. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that reason for me to like them. It's because everyone else, or like I don't want people to think that's the reason why kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like,
No,
I
I
kind of
feel that.
hesitated. Yeah, I kind of hesitated in liking them. So I first started liking 17 because of like a lot of the songs that Camille showed me, and it felt like they were really like, like down to earth. Their songs had so much meaning to it, and it was just like I just had like this weird kind of connection with them, and I really liked their, all the songs, their meanings, and their dancing is like really amazing. Their like transitions were so good. Everything was like wow. So like that's when I started really liking them. And then like as that was going, then Camille started showing me more and more BTS, and like I was like, "Oh, they're really good." And they also kind of had that whole like meanings, like really meaningful songs, just like
Yeah.
17. I was like, "Oh man, like they're really good." Like I can't like, I kind of started stepping closer and closer into that hole, and it was
And then
just
you're
like
just all
bad
in.
from this, just went downhill. And like yeah, like they're just like both two groups were just like they really had so much meaning, and during that time it really helped me, it felt like, so that's why I really liked them. But with Monsta X, it felt like I don't know, there was like it was kind of a different way of me getting into them because like Camille kind of wasn't involved in it, so it's kind of my like own kind of thing, and they also kind of had like really good meanings to their songs. Like the members were really cool, and like their dancing were really good, and it was just like, like it was like a really good vibe, and it was just like I don't know. That's what I felt whenever I like listened to them. It's just like having that good vibe with the group. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, like how can I not love them, But yeah.
See, that's why with me, like with BTS, Camille and I used to watch their videos in like I think 2018, and she would FaceTime me and we would just watch their videos and stuff, and we started learning them and everything. And then I kind of at the time I was still really busy with school, so I couldn't like head ass into it. But then
It's a lot.
yeah. So, I mean, that was years ago already. What is 2023 now? So, 5 years ago. Oh my gosh.
It's so long. When
That
you
was
really think
so
about it, it's so
long ago.
long. But anyway.
But yeah, I ended up like, I was kind of just a casual fan of them after. For a while, like, I only really got back into them like last year. And it was I would text you, remember, after
Oh
the
my God,
the
I would.
Grammys performance, and you were like, "Just jump in." You were like, "You know it's
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
happen. Just jump in
You're
already."
like on that it's okay because you're on that denial phase for so long. I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep pushing her and eventually she'll
I know.
fall. Like it's inevitable,
And
it's just like
I
it'll happen.
I really did like put it off for so long. You kept
Yeah.
trying. You sent me TikToks. You would show me stuff, and I was like, I was still a fan, but I wasn't like, I was like,
You
no,
trying to
like,
get to know the members because like you didn't know each member's names yet, so I was just like, oh, this
yeah.
one's this one, just kept sending you all of them, and it was just like eventually,
You knew it was gonna happen.
my
I
job
knew
was
it would
done.
too, but I was not ready for it.
I don't think anyone is really ready for it if you really think about it.
I
Like I
know.
don't. It's like
It just happens.
yeah, it just happens. It's funny because like when I first started listening to K-pop, it was back in what 2009. So like my friend just showed me Big Bang, I started getting into their music and started knowing their members. But little did I know there was so much more to it. Like I
Hmm.
didn't know half of like the K-pop culture in a way. I was just like, what? There's collectors, there's like all these fandoms, all these like certain names for fandoms, and then there was like all these like things that were just like, whoa, wait, hold on, let me take a
Yeah.
pause, let me learn the lingo real quick. And like till this day I don't even think I know all the lingo. It's just like, oh, okay.
Because
Like
it's a whole
probably the
different
like yeah,
experience.
it really
Yeah.
is. It really is. It's crazy because it's like you think you know when you step in, but once you really step in, it's like, oh, I didn't know anything at all. It's just like a whole new world. And like there's like different types of stands and everything, and then there's like the ones who are anti-stands, and it's just like, why is there so much? It's like overwhelming for me, it was just like a baby army in a way. I was just like, I have no idea what's going on. What is this? And I'm just like, okay, okay, I get it now. And then it's just like, it's crazy. It's a crazy world, but at the same time, it's kind of, I think that's why I like it also, is because it could get really exciting too. in a way, you know?
There's a lot to discover when it comes to
Mm,
K-pop.
there really is. I don't think a lot of people understand that, and it's crazy. Like I'm still a pretty good noob in a way. Like I don't know half the things that's going on. I'm just like, oh, okay. It's a
Damn,
learning
like,
experience.
if you say that, then I'm really new.
I'm still learning. Like there's half things I'm just like, oh, is that? Oh, okay. Well, that's the website that everyone's getting all these stuff from. Oh, that's how you're
Well,
supposed to like protect your like collections. I'm like, okay.
because it's not just about music. You know, they have
Yeah.
so much stuff going on. Like, they also have their shows, they also
Hmm.
have all their merch, all the, like, voting things, you
Oh my God,
know?
yeah. That is true though.
It's a
It's just like,
lot.
well, it really is. And then you have like your memberships and then the stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes with the memberships, what you can access with memberships. Like there's like a difference between like like the fans who are in like Korea, there's a
Hmm.
difference between the fans who are international, even like with Japan or anything. Like it's all like different like branches and it's just like it's crazy all at the same time. Like when you think about like Western artists, you listen to I don't know top of my head like Justin Bieber, you have like their Bieber Nation and everything. That's like how far it will go. That's it, like the fandom. But then like yeah, they have merch, they have like probably like other things, but it's like it's different compared to when it comes
Hmm.
to like K-pop, you know?
There's so many
Yeah.
things with K-pop that you can, like, collect, or
Hmm.
all these, like, limited edition type of things that you don't really see. Or, like, even, you know what, with albums too, like, here they just have the CD, like maybe the lyric book or whatever. But with K-pop, it's like you have the whole photo books, you have notes, you have like their diary, whatever it comes with. It comes with a lot.
Comes with a lot. Like you're putting your money in, like, like I remember I can't remember if it was like my friend or my cousin. They were just like, why is it so expensive? Like it's like
Hmm.
$30 for like how many songs? 5 songs. And I'm like, it's not really about the songs in a way. It's more like what's inside. What's inside the like other stuff that's in there that's making it like $30,
Yeah.
So it's just like that kind of thing. So yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
kind of funny that you mentioned that because I just bought Ateez's new album,
Is
and
that why you were asking?
asking what?
You were asking me the other day, like, where do I buy my like photo card sleeves?
Oh, yeah.
Did I just go? Well, I mean, you know what? We're exposing ourselves a little bit more today, so why not?
But yeah, I had to like explain to my parents that,
Hmm.
yeah, it is like more expensive for an album, but you're not just paying for the CD. It comes with
Hmm.
a lot. Because they were like asking me, and I was like, yeah, it comes with posters, with photo books, with photo cards.
And
Like,
like with other groups, like for 17, they like putting like arts and crafts stuff in there. The album I had, like the recent one, came with highlighters. And
oh,
then like
really?
an album, yeah, it came with like different colored highlighters and like I got almost all of them. But anyway, and like their album, but like before it came with like this like crochet kit where like you kind of like it. I didn't even bother. I tried and I failed. I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it in the box untouched. But it's like, yeah, but no, it's true though. There's so much stuff that comes into albums, and it's just like you enjoy the music, but then at the same time, there's like a little extra that they give you. It's like a little gift, and then like I
Hmm.
don't know, it was so fun to see and like enjoy for those like moments and just like look back to. And I think that's what's really cool about the albums that come from like the K-pop world in a way,
Because
to me
it's
at least.
like you get to kind of see more of who they are
Hmm.
beyond the music, in a
Hmm.
way.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's true. Very, very true. Like you really do, especially when you like look through like their photo books in there, and you just like, I don't, well, sometimes I get scared looking at them, but I mean,
What do you
they're like
mean?
really good. I mean, like they're really good, and they're just like, whoa. Yeah. If you understand what I mean by scary, then understand. I mean, come on, like when you flip to a page and Jim is just like, whoa, you know? Let's be real. That's pretty scary to me. Yeah.
K-pop
I was,
stands will understand.
yeah, they really do. It's just like I feels like this episode would be like, if you're not a K-pop stan, then I don't think you'll understand half this episode.
Yeah, that's true. They might like get what we're saying, but they won't really understand to the full extent of how we feel or how it feels to like,
Yeah,
because if they're not in a fandom or they're
yeah,
not standing
yeah,
K-pop, it's
exactly.
different.
Yeah, like how, like, yeah, no, exactly, because like it's like a whole different world. It's a whole different experience that n- you have to know if you're really deep in there. Like you don't really know unless you're deep in a way, you know? Like you could be
Hmm.
touching the waters, but you're not really, it feels like you're not really a K-pop stan until you like you have those kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. Never mind.
Cause well, it feels like
Ah,
there's a lot
uh,
of casual fans, but
mhm.
I get what you're saying. Like you don't really, I don't know. You're either like in it or you're not super in it. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it's I
Like,
don't yeah, it's like I don't know how to explain it without like I don't know, it's like really like hard to put the words in.
you
Like I
can't just
had it.
touch the surface when it comes to
Yeah,
K-pop.
yeah.
You know, like next thing you
It's
know,
like it
you
doesn't
start
mean like,
researching.
yeah, and it's like I don't know. I guess it's like you don't have to be like a collector. You don't have to be like following all their sites or anything like that. Like supporting them is good for
Hmm.
being a K-pop stan, but it's also like there's that like the support, but then at the same time there's people who do like K-pop, but then it's just like how would you say it? It's just like it's not to the extent where it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Ugh, I don't know how to really explain. It feels like I don't know. Maybe if you're listening, you understand what I mean. Comment down below and explain it for me because I'm having like a hard time trying to explain this. But
It
yeah.
is kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like there are different levels of being a K-pop stan.
Hmm.
There really it feels like to me there really is, you know. There's like the extreme and then there's like, like the like just going down levels, which isn't bad or nothing and nothing at all, you know. Like I feel like I could hit like the middle to like maybe like a little bit high, but not that high. Maybe in the beginning I was pretty high, but now I think I've lowered it a little bit, so I'm just like in the middle, maybe. Depends.
Like it
Sometimes.
depends on the levels
Yeah,
where you.
I think it depends on where I'm at that day. But no, it really is though. But like, yeah, I don't know what else to kind of say about that in a way. Not really too sure how that would go. But like, yeah,
I don't
you were
know
saying
if other people can like other K-pop fans can kind of describe it like.
better. Maybe like people who've been into K-pop longer would be able
Hmm.
to really describe it better because they've experienced maybe more, I guess. Really get to like to have that insight. I don't know. I'm still new,
Cause,
like I
well,
said.
yeah, I think for me, I was kind of just like on a lower level of K-pop before. Like I would just listen to music, and definitely was not how I am now.
That's what I thought too when I was getting into it, honestly. Yeah.
Cause I
It's really
mean, like I don't even know what years that was. Like Girls' Generation, and I mean it was a long time ago. I think I was.
I know that was
Mm,
like maybe 2000. Oh, I don't want to get like the wrong date. It feels like it was in my high school years, like 2000, maybe late 2005 and later, maybe. But then part of me is also thinking like maybe my middle school also. I don't know.
I think I first, yeah, middle school, middle school, high school,
Hmm.
and then it was like I had like a hiatus until like BTS.
You had a longer hiatus than me. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's funny though. Like, while I was on that hiatus, it's not like I didn't listen to K-pop. Like, I still listen here and there, and I watched K-dramas more than I was
Mhm.
watch or listening to K-pop. So it's still kind of in that ish world in a way, I guess. But like, when I listened to groups back then, like, I wouldn't say I didn't care for their names. I just I would hear their names, but it didn't like stick in my head who they were at that time or like any of that because like I just enjoyed their music and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like they're really cool, but like I don't think it really like stuck to me who they were singing. Part of me was like, oh, maybe I actually listened to BTS beforehand and I just never remembered. And then part of me is just like, no, it feels like I probably would remember them. But then I'm like, I don't know. With my memory, honestly, it's up in the air.
Well,
Honestly.
I wonder if I wasn't so busy back then with like work, school, and well, I had a boyfriend at the time, but if I wasn't so busy when I was like getting into BTS with Camille at first, if I would have like been a hardcore K-pop stan back then.
I thought about that too. It feels like I would if I don't know, to me it's like if it was meant to be for me to find them, it would have
Mm-hmm.
happened. But I think like there's a reason they came to my life at that moment in time
Yeah.
because like and like the songs that I listened to came to me at that moment in time because that's what I needed the most right now or at that time obviously but like it's like there was a reason why like these two groups that I stand so much is just like they helped me in ways that I think some people will understand, and then some people would be like, really? Like I think you just kind of needed that moment,
Yeah.
you know?
They always
Yeah,
say that like you find BTS when you need them most. And
yeah.
I really believe that.
I really do. Because, like, it's crazy because it's like when I like see how other people found, even not just BTS, but like found other K-pop idols or other, their groups. It's like during a moment like they like it was meant to be at that moment for a lot of them and I'm like that's really cool like those stories are really amazing and like I'm glad they were able to find like the how would you word it like healing
Yeah.
or find that I don't know what other word I guess like healing or that
Like
self-growth
comfort.
yeah comfort there you go
Yeah.
growth comfort from those like these guys and I think that's just like always so amazing to hear and like till this day a lot of people are like I started them because of this reason but I'm loving them for even more reasons so I'm just like that's a really amazing way to put it.
It's kind of crazy how you can just start with like you either see a performance or listen to their music once and then all of a sudden they become something so much more to you, especially like after you get to know them.
Yeah, no, they really is. Sometimes that's why I get so scared to like stand any other groups because once I get to know them, it feels like I get so invested that like it's not like yeah, I get really invested into them
Mm-hmm.
like and I like really like find other ways. But then now I think that's how it was before in like the beginning, but now I think like I've grown out of that, which feels really good. So like, I can like other groups for more reasons and enjoy their music, enjoy what they give to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I think BTS and 17 are both groups that it feels like they came into my life when I really needed them and brought me back into the K-pop world, I guess, in a way. Even though like Big Bang will always be probably my number one because like they were technically my first loves, which, I'm really, really excited for. Um, the collaboration with Taeyang and Jimin, but I'm just saying,
A week
like
from today.
I know I'm so excited, but like
Oh
those,
wait,
it's
when
really
this comes out, it's gonna be the same day.
Ah, that's a perfect timing. Oh my God.
Wow, the
Go
timing.
listen.
Sorry.
If you're watching this right now, go stream that song. Go give them that number one top hit. But it's funny because when I first started standing Big Bang, my yeah, I would say my first bias was Taeyang, and then my second was Top. So like that, I thought that was really cute. But then now, well, as it kind of flipped over, but that's fine. But if you didn't know, Jimin's my bias, my baby from BTS. Just kidding, guys. Don't come for me. I will share. It's fine. But
You're
yeah.
about to get canceled.
I just want to put it out there. I'm sharing. He's Yes. Um, am I though? I don't know. With biases, yeah, and like, just to put it out there, for 17 S coops. That one I'm question mark. I don't know if I want to share that one. Just saying. MonstaX, I would say Shonu,
I
which I
wanted to
miss. He's gonna
ask
be back
you.
in from his enlistment soon,
Oh,
which we'll
really?
talk about later. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's almost. I think he's almost gonna come back soon. Maybe two. No, not 2 months. That seems too soon. It feels like a little bit more. But anyway, um. Oh shoot! I forgot what I was gonna say.
Or are you gonna ask something?
Yeah, I was
Or
gonna.
you
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but I was also gonna say something else before I asked. Oh, but I just forgot. That's so annoying. Um,
you got too excited?
I know I got too excited thinking about. That's what happens. Um, talking about like biases, I think it's so crazy how much like love you have for not just one of the members, but for all of them. But then there's always that one member that just like really pulls on your heartstrings. And obviously, I said mine were like Jim and S Coops have shown you from my three groups. And like no matter what, like all the members, I'll always like see their like solos or I'll see them perform. And like, they'll pull on that heartstring a little bit, but once like let's just say like Jimin comes onto the screen, like I totally forget who I was looking at. I'm like, oh yeah, he reminds me, hello, I'm here. I think that's funny for me. Um, it feels like that's like pretty similar for a lot of people, I could say. I don't know.
You know
But
what's
yeah.
funny though is that I would be listening to like Ateez's music, and then if the playlist was over, it would just like randomly start playing BTS, and I was like, oh, they're jealous.
No, it's so funny. That happens to me all the time too. Like sometimes when I'm like studying or doing work, I'll have like YouTube. So I'll literally type in like let's say I'll put like 17 like slow playlists or something. And then out of nowhere, like it's like legitly I can see the playlist on my side screen. Like it literally says all the 17 songs and the playlist is not even done yet. Next thing I know it like BTS comes on. I'm like, "What?" And it would be like one of their songs where like Jimin's just either being so cutesy or he's being way too sexy and it'll just be like, Why?
Yeah.
This was 17 day. Like why are you what's going on here?"
He's like,
But I think it's just
hello, I'm here.
yeah. Or like when I'm like just on my iPhone or on my phone and like you're going through Instagram or TikTok and like I see too many like either S Cubes videos, all of a sudden Jimin videos start popping up. I'm like, what's going on? I just look. Sorry. I don't know. I think that's just always so funny whenever that happens. I'm just like, does this only happen to me or is this like a common thing? Because I really hope it's a common thing.
It seems like it
Yeah.
happens. I mean, if it happens to you, it has definitely happened to me too.
Yeah.
And can I
Yeah.
just mention, like, bias wreckers are so real.
Oh my God, yeah. They really are. Like, they're scary real sometimes. It is just like, okay, calm down, guys. I
You're like,
can't.
wait a minute, wait.
Hold on, let me redo this moment. Yeah. But then it's funny for me because like for my bias wreckers, there's always like I don't have just one bias wrecker. I have like two in each group, it feels like. And like it's a lot. It's so hard. And I'm just like, why? Why now?
Did you ever have like you had a kind of maybe the first person that caught your eye in a group, but then like later on you kind of, they weren't like your bias because you got to know the rest of them or something?
Yes.
Okay,
For
good. I'm not the only one.
BTS, yeah, no. Okay, so I don't know if I'm the only one for this one. So when I first started, like I said before, like I was in denial to being in army for a while, and so like when me and my sister she would show me, she'll be like, "Oh, pick a bias at least, or pick someone who's catching your eye," and like I don't know if it's because he spoke English or if like his English was really good. I don't know, but he is still fine. I'm just saying that he was still fine. So it was RM obviously. If I'm speaking about English, it's like duh. So like he was the first person that like caught my eye until this day, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm in denial that like the reason why I liked him, and I'm just using English as like his excuse, but I don't know. Maybe it's not just me. I don't know. But yeah, so he was the first person that caught my eye. And like, as I started getting to know like the members, trying to remember their names, who was who, um, Jimin just came into the picture. I remember I watched like just one of his solo performances, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, that's him. Oh, okay. And just started getting inching towards him a little bit more. And like RM stayed number one for a while, and then I was like, oh, maybe Jimin was like my bias wrecker, I would say. But no, he just pushed RM off and just like, nope, she's mine. I'm just like, damn.
It
But
was
I
just
don't
all
know.
Jimin
Yeah,
after.
it was just all Jim. He stayed number one. Mine twos, threes, whatevers were like flipping all over the place. Nope, he stayed number one. But yeah, yeah, no. But I don't know. RM nowadays, he's like reaching there, and I'm just like, let me grab your hand real quick.
Can I just say he's not my bias, but RM is like he's so boyfriend.
hmm
Especially lately, I feel like all of his Instagram posts too. Like, can you relax on the timeline? God.
Oh my God. Every time like I see his post, I just have to like stare at my phone for just a little bit longer. Just a little bit. I'm just like, okay, let me scroll now. He like whoever stands, whoever Namjoon bias are, I pray for you guys because like it feels like you guys are going through it a lot. Yeah,
At least they get all that good stuff. My
I know.
bias doesn't even come
Don't
on
even
sometimes.
I don't even know where mine is. He's been missing. It's really actually talking about it, it's really funny. I like it's like kind of like a little joke between like me and my cousin. Like every time I get mad at Jimin in a way because he doesn't post, and like I'll be like I'm just gonna make him jealous, and then I'll be like, oh, look at S Cubes, or look at Shodu, and I'll be like, look at all these other like Korean gorgeous men, and the next thing you know it, like the next day, or not even the next day, like the next hour, all of a sudden Jimin decides to post something. I'm like, did I just what did I do? And
Wow.
I don't know, it's just like the timing. I don't know. I don't even know, man. Like it's crazy sometimes. She'll be texting me like, "What did you do? Why did you make him mad?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just looked at S cubes for like an hour."
An
But
hour?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
an
too long.
hour, you know. Yeah, he
Jimin
totally
said
did.
he needs your attention.
Yeah, I think he has like this like sensor for all his like stands, and he's like, "Oh, someone's like, drifting away. Let me post something real quick." Like, like they just posted what yesterday, I guess, or
Two,
yesterday,
two.
like his Korea W
Oh
magazine
my
covers.
god.
Oh my God. I was just like, shit.
I saw it, I was like, Jimin?
I was like, what? What is this? Like everyone was like frantically like talking about Suga's post. I'm like, oh, he posted too? I was just so on to
Wow.
like Jimin's post. I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And and then I looked at Suga's and I'm like, oh, I see the frantic. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, that's a good one.
I think when
Yeah.
I woke up yesterday, I like checked Instagram and I saw Suga's post, and I was like, "Oh my god, what did I just wake up to?" I was blessed.
Yeah. 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 A lot of people are getting their blessings after Christmas.
I know. No, everyone was like, "We're only 5 days into the new year."
Oh, that's so true. That's
Yeah.
so true, huh? That's so true. That's yeah. Um, but I remember, or no, I was gonna ask you earlier. I was like, oh, who are your biases, or who did you like? Who first caught your eye in like either BTS or ATEEZ or?
I'll start with BTS. And well, when I used to watch their videos with Camille before, I don't remember who it was. And I kind of wish I did. But
Why
that
does it feel like
was
it was
like,
Tay? Because that was the first one you mentioned to me.
well, with you, yeah, I know for sure it was.
Oh,
But back then, I can't remember. I really can't. I tried. I wanted to know. I do remember though, like me and Camille would talk about RM a lot. So maybe it was him. I don't know.
Well, it feels like because her bias was RM, like we kind of navigated to what she knew first. Feels like I
True.
don't know, maybe that's and she talked about him a lot, so I felt like that was to me that was the first person I knew. That's the first person that I memorized in the group.
Me
So it
too.
was really easy to just, navigate that way. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think because back then, like we were watching the Not Today music video, and I remember like asking her, or we were trying to learn their names, and then she was like, all I remember is RM. Well, back, yeah, I don't know, that was back then, but oh, I just forgot what I was gonna say.
You were talking about we were talking about biases.
Yeah, I was gonna include another story from before, but now I can't remember. Anyways, yeah,
Oh,
and then when you got me into them again, then it was Tay. It was, I remember. It was definitely Tay.
but there's a but.
And then Jungkook came in my life. Everything changed.
Tends to happen.
But Tay is
Yeah,
still my bias wrecker.
he's
Well,
mine too.
him and
And
Yoongi, I think. They share that.
mm, yeah, Tae and Jungkook share my bias wrecker positions.
It's
Yeah,
hard to like pick though. It's like you love them all
yeah,
so much.
yeah. It really is. It,
Like
yeah,
even
because every
sometimes for me, Hobie is up there, being
yeah,
a bias
no,
wrecker too.
no, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, Hobie. Oh my God. It's really funny. Oh my God, like I out myself with my family all the time. But so like like Hobie performed the New Year's Eve countdown. I can't remember the full title of it, but yeah, so he performed, which he was amazing, by the way. Like,
He
oh
looks
my
so
God.
cute.
He looked so good. Oh my God. Anyway, and like after the countdown, like my cousin, she asked, she was like, oh, wasn't Hobie there? Like, where is he? I'm like, oh, he's probably in his hotel room. He just did like a V-Live, blah, blah. And then like next thing I know it, he pops up on the screen. I'm like, oh, there's Hobie. And like I said it so loud and like my whole family like just quiet down and looked at me and I'm just like, like it was shrunk into my shell. I'm like, oh, but yeah.
No, I thought it was funny
Um,
because my whole family was like, "Oh, you can't miss J Hope." Like they call him J Hope because that's what they know. But they're like, "You can't miss J
yeah.
Hope. He's gonna be on soon." So I thought it was funny. Like they know that I'm like waiting to watch him.
It's funny because like unfortunately I couldn't watch his performance on my TV because like my family was doing karaoke, so I went
Hmm.
upstairs when I knew he was about to perform, and so I watched him in my room for a little bit. But yeah, but like talking about like family and like your like how they like your life with K-pop. Like, do you ever feel like you feel like how like them like feel embarrassed in any way when it comes to liking K-pop with like your friends or with like your family members? Like you have like a hard time bringing them up or acting a certain way if like like a video was posted or a picture, or they bring it up.
Actually, for a long time, I didn't even know that some of my friends were also K-pop stans
Mhm.
because we like never talked about it. And I didn't want to like throw myself out there as a fangirl. So I would never like say anything.
Mhm.
But now me and my friends we kind of all fangirl together.
That's good.
Even though they're boys, they fangirl with me.
Oh. Fanboys are
Yeah,
so cool though.
fam.
Sometimes they go that extra mile more than girls. I'm like, whoa. And it's so crazy to see sometimes. Like they're out there
Oh, I love
and
that my guy friends
they're just
are.
like and like it's crazy. like they're probably like the straightest person ever in the world, like, But
Yeah.
when like all of a sudden let's just keep going with BTS. Like what once like Jungkook or Jimin like come on the screen, like they all of a sudden be like, hey, like I will get at that kind of
Yeah.
thing, I was just like, whoa. It's I don't know. I think it's always funny and it's like I think it's pretty cool whatever, that happens. I think it's like, there are just so many of them as much as there's girls. The fandom is is really big and you don't really realize it until you step in. I think I kind of had like almost like in a way the same experience, Like I think when I first, well, in the beginning with like Big Bang, it was a little bit different because like I don't know, I guess that time K-pop was kind of starting a little bit get bigger, just like a little bit bigger because of them. So it was a little bit easier to like kind of like stand them, but it wasn't as like where we are right now.
Yeah.
But once I started getting into like BTS, I wouldn't lie, I was a little embarrassed at first to admit that I was into K-pop because like for me, I knew that a lot of my friends weren't really into like that K kind of like K-pop. They were into a little bit more hardcore like Korean music and so I was just like, oh, like I didn't bring it up so much. But then like as I started like not caring what other people thought if I liked K-pop or not, then I started being more comfortable and being more like, you know what, F it. If they know I like BTS, then they know I like BTS. Like who cares? I'll make it known. And I think for me to step out of that, I think like knowing other like armies out there and knowing how like they stepped out kind of thing felt like, oh, I can do it too. So they kind of gave me like that motivation to step out. And so like, that felt really cool because like when people talk about like, like the fandoms, like sometimes they'll like talk about like the craziest things and like they'll talk about how like they're all like teenage girls, they're all like these crazy fans, whatever. But like in reality, it's like that's all a lie, Like
Yeah.
they're nothing like that at all. Like
It's
when
like
I
they
first,
just choose
yeah,
to see that crazy
yeah,
side.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like when I remember when I first went to my very first BTS concert. It was like my first K-pop concert, like, everything like that. So like I was scared like to go there because I was like, "Oh, like what happens if what people are saying are true? Like these fans are crazy, like they'll be mean, whatever, like I won't have that much fun probably." And but like when I got there and when I started meeting everyone, it was like totally the opposite. Like all these like fans, like all the armies, like they were so nice. They were so friendly. Like it wasn't just teenage girls. It was like
Yeah.
teenage boys, teenage girls. There were like moms, dads, families. There was like so many different types of races, so many different ages. It was like crazy because like I remember like we were waiting and like they were like these four older women like they were like probably like in their 70s or 80s and like we thought like they were there with their grandchildren but no they were there like they were there and I was just like well that's so cool like maybe that'll be us in like a couple years but like
A
like it
couple
was like
years.
such or be a couple years and like in the future sorry I was like
A
I'm not that
couple
old
decades.
couple decades,
Oh my
we'll be
god.
like that, going into the concert in our arcades, watching our seven men perform. But like, like yeah, and like I met like two of my best friends there. It's just like I've made like friends in like this big, huge community, and it's just like it's such I know it's like a great experience to be all together. And like I think that's what really pushed me into the whole even more is meeting all the armies everyone and really getting to know the fandom more than what I've heard in the background,
Like really being a part of the community.
Really being
Yeah.
part of it. It's just like, well, like the news, everyone talking about them, like it's far from it. Like it's you're not even close to what like, what these people are talking about. Like armies are amazing. Yeah, there's some, bad apples here and there. Like, who isn't a bad apple? But majority, like not even majority, like 99% of it is like these are actually really amazing people, like just don't piss them off because they
Yeah,
will go for you.
that's a different side for sure.
That's a whole different side. Like, and I thought like I wouldn't be that type of army who would like, I'd be like, okay, just leave it to them. They'll like, tear you apart. But like sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, like, where are they? Where do they live? Like, who do I need to beat up? Like, kind of thing. But it's like only for a split second, I guess.
I well, I don't know. I kind of I guess I can get not crazy like super crazy army, but sometimes okay, there's this one video I'm sure all army knows about like Jungkook being treated
Oh,
poorly
why would you bring that up?
because it pissed me off so
I
much.
think that really pisses off everyone.
That's why it's like, oh, you just can't like you maybe you think you won't be crazy and then you see some shit like that and I'm like ready to fight.
Yeah. But it's like for a split second though, because afterwards I'm just like, would I really fight? Actually, I probably would. Never mind. Let's be
Depends
real,
on
I
the
probably would.
situation.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. Where I am and depends on the situation. But like,
But you really get
talk,
mad because of
yeah, no, you really do.
it.
So like, okay, but what, like in this scenario, like I know like there's a bunch of like not even just armies, but like, you
Mm,
know, all the other fandoms, like if they see their idols being mistreated or talked bad about, like, they're ready to jump in.
yeah, of
They're
course
ready
they're
to be
gonna
like,
defend them.
yeah, they're really good at defending. They're like, like have you ever been put in that type of situation, like with your family or friends, where like they'll say something about, the idol, like, let's say, oh, you only like them because they're good looking, or oh, they probably lip sync, or they don't really know how to dance, like all those like
Yeah.
really negative stuff. Like, have you ever been put in that situation where they like someone who said that to your face? Like, how have you reacted, or did you react?
Well, it kind of happened with a family member. I'm not gonna say who, but if they watch this, they know it was them because I was watching. It was specifically the BTS on video in Grand Central Station,
Hmm.
and like I love that choreography.
It was a really good choreography. Seeing
Yeah,
that live, oh my God. Anyway, sorry.
it's so
Go
good.
ahead.
Like I was obsessed with it, so I was watching it, and I wanted like my mom is into K-pop too, so I was like showing her,
Hmm.
and then like one of my family members said something about their dancing. I don't remember what was said exactly, but they said something, and I guess I kind of like took it personally because I kind of snapped and I was like, "You do it then," like about their choreography.
And their choreography is hard too. Like,
Yeah,
it's really hard, actually.
that's why I was like, you are not gonna attack them for this choreography that's so amazing. Like, you can't do it, so don't say anything.
Oh my God. No, like that it reminds me of like my family like knows I'm into K-pop. They know why I got into, well, they don't know why I got into it because I got into it a long time ago, but why I got back into it,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
and like I remember this like one time I was like in the car with someone. I don't have to blast who what. But I had to think about if I was gonna blast them out for it. But yeah, I was like in a car with someone and they're like, why do you even like them? You don't even understand what they're saying. You
Oh, I
you just
hate when
like
people say that.
oh yeah, I know. I hate it when they say that.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Like you don't understand what they're saying. You just like them for their looks. Like, are they really even good singers? Like, they were just going off on him. And I was just like, I was driving, by the way. And like, I just got so heated. I'm like, for one, like, that's like not even the reason why I like them. Like, I don't need to understand what they're saying right away. Like, I could look up their translations,
Yeah.
like in an instant. I just need to type it in. There it is. Like that has nothing to do with the reason why I would like them. One, yeah, they are good looking, but that's not another reason why I like them. Like, yeah, that's just like probably like one of the small things that I like about them. Yeah, they're good looking. It's just like, probably like the icing on a cake kind of thing. And like, you know, um, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. But like, yeah, like there's so much more to them than just their looks or what they're actually saying. You know, like their voices are really amazing. The
Mm.
passion that they put into their songs, passion they put into the dance moves, what they create for their fans, like it's top tier. And it's like that's what makes me drawn to them even more. You know, like yeah, like even if I don't know what they're saying in the beginning, just hearing their voices, hearing the rhythm, hearing the music itself, like it could bring tears to my eyes. Like I could count, well, no, yeah, I could like say certain songs that I've heard the first time that actually brought tears in my eyes, and I didn't even know what the heck they were saying. Like, you know, BTS's Blue and Gray. When I first heard that, tears
Oh my
instantly. Oh my God, that
gosh.
hits so hard. It's one of my favorite songs, 0 O'Clock. That one hits so
Oh,
good.
stop, I'm
And
a
then like, you know,
cry.
like 17's Us Again. That one, oh my God, instant tears,
Heartbreaker.
heartbreaker. Like, you know, it's just like all these songs, like I didn't even know what the song was about. But like as soon as I heard the song, for some reason my I actually like started crying. And honestly, like I can't say that about like, you know, yes, there are songs in Western artists that like, you know, are really good and then like I have cried, but not like that instant song. Like it'd probably be like maybe I'm doing something and like or something comes to mind, then I'll cry. But it's not because of the song that I'm crying with, you know? It's just like there's such a different like it's just different for me at
I
least.
think people don't realize that you don't have to understand what they're saying to
Mhm.
recognize their talent.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like you can tell right away if someone is really good at singing or really good at rapping just from hearing them. You don't
Yeah.
need to know what they're saying. Of course,
Yeah.
it makes it better if you do understand, or like if you look it up
Yeah.
later, then, well, that's
It
what
just hits
happens
even
with.
harder though.
Yeah.
Every time I like look up, like I regret looking it up after because I'm just like, oh, that hurt even 10 times harder when the first time I heard it. Why? Because like I guess yeah, because you know what they're saying now, but it's just like I don't want to know anymore. I just want to like be in the dark and not know what they're saying because it hurts.
The
You know?
first time when me and Camille were watching, and then she showed me Spring Day.
Oh,
Oh
that is
my god! Like, yeah, I did not know what they were saying, but I could just tell. Like the music
it was
video,
really
the
good.
the whole setting, it was so like, it was just so sad.
Yeah, it's crazy because yeah, like yeah, when Camille showed me Spring Day, it's like, oh, it's like it's a really good song, and like it started being one of my favorite songs. And she told me the meaning and the theme behind it then. But it's crazy because I don't know, maybe it didn't click in my head right away, or like maybe I forgot I don't know. But I re-looked up the meaning again, like the actual like lyrics and everything, and I'm like, wow, this is like really like so close to what's going on for me right now that like it really touched deep and
Yeah.
like it really like jumped up in my chart so much more when I re-looked up the lyrics. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. And like I remember when they played it in the Permission to Dance in LA, when I heard it like that, I think I watched it. When did it? Day 3, I think. That's when they played it for me, and I watched it live. It was like a totally different experience, a totally different feeling. And like I remember like we still had to wear masks and everything, and I was like bawling, crying my eyes out. My mask was literally soaked. I'm just like, why did you guys do this to me at the end of the concert? And I was just like, I don't know. It was like it was a great experience, and I just like love that song. It's just like, yeah,
That song, like, well, it meant a lot to me already, and it because it was so special, and because it reminded me of Camille before, and I mean, it still does. So even like now, it's sometimes I can't even listen to it because it's too hard.
sometimes I have to listen to the Japanese version just so I don't get sad because I know the Korean version really well. So when it comes on, I'm just like, okay, don't think it's sad. It's fine. I'm like, okay. But yeah, no. It's just crazy how much the songs have like so much more meanings to it and
Hmm.
how they could just like hold like like a role in your life in a way, you know, like with Blue and Gray, I felt like that really
Oh,
touched so deep when it like released and it was just like, oh, it's such a beautiful song. And then learning that it was actually supposed to be on Tay solo, and
Hmm.
like it was supposed to be English, and I was just like, wow, like what was he going through? Like I really need to go and give him a big hug and
That
just
shit hurt.
it really hurt. And I
It
was just like,
hurts so bad.
and like it's crazy because it's like when I watched it live, I was just like, you guys really just wanted me to keep crying all night because like literally that's how I felt after hearing Blue and Gray at the concert, and at the very end of the night I heard Spring Day, and I'm just like, okay, just shoot me now,
It's like
fine.
as soon as you see them standing in front of those mirrors, I'm like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah, I was just like, God dang it. And the funny thing is, like, the next day I went to the last day of the concert, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but I still cried. I still
Well,
felt the
yeah.
I was
It
just like, dang
still hurts.
it. Dang
It's
it.
like they just
I was like,
stab you in the heart.
I know. And I watched it back to back. It was just like front, back. I was like, dang. Side to side. But yeah.
First they stab you in the heart, and then Spring Day comes on, and then they twist it.
I know they twist it, and then like, and I was just like, the next day I hear Blue and Gray again. I'm like, oh, it's deeper in there. It's
But
like,
yeah,
okay.
now that I know what Spring Day means to like all of Army, like,
Mm.
the song is just
It's just so
means
beautiful.
everything. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, like it had a different meaning when I first heard it,
Hmm.
and then, or yeah, when I first heard it, and then like as like more and more times as I kept learning more about BTS, different meanings came to it, and then at like, I think one of my lowest points, that's when I re-looked up the lyrics again. It had like a whole different meaning for me again, and like now I think it still has a whole new meaning for me now. So it's just like, I don't know, just with BTS in general, like for them, they have a really special place in my heart because of like the situation I've been in and what kind of growth I've been in. And it's just like, I like if I ever meet them, I know that's one thing. Like face to face, like if I get to talk with them, like I know for sure, like I would want to tell them thank you. I
Yeah.
would want to tell them thanks for being there for me for my lowest points. And not even just for me, for all armies, because like I know a lot of armies have listened to them at their lowest points and have helped them like, get not like get over, but like, like go through that hurdle and go through that part of their lives. It's like that's what makes them that times more extra special because
Hmm.
of that. And I think like, they deserve the world. And I think that's also a lot of reasons why there's so many armies that like have their backs, like that
Yeah.
want to stick up for them. And I think that's also why I do that too, because it's because of what they've done for me. It's just like the little things, I want to be able to give
It's
kind of thing.
kind of weird. Like we have armies have this special bond with BTS that I have never seen like other people have.
Yeah.
Until it happened to me. And if I ever met them, I would want to tell them my whole story. And I think, how Namjoon said he would want to hear like every single army story and how we
Hmm.
got into them and everything. Like, I would love that. I think they would love it too.
I
But
think they would. Hearing
I,
every single that would take forever, but
I
I
know.
think it would be amazing. I think like even just hearing some of them, like there's so much inspiration just for them. Like sometimes it feels like what we have to say isn't heard enough, and like, I would want us to be able to express what BTS has done for us.
I don't even know if we got the opportunity to. I don't even know where I would start
I wouldn't
because
either.
they've done so much.
I wouldn't know, right?
Like the
For
impact that
when,
they have
yeah.
on not even just us, everybody.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
No, it really is. It's just like, yeah, I wouldn't know where to start. I think, yeah, I'd definitely be nervous at first. That would be for
Yeah.
sure. But I think once I get to that, like, I get to center myself and get to, like, be like, okay, I need to say what I need to say before they leave, kind of thing. I would tell them, be like, thank you, not just for me, but for armies. Thank you for, like, helping me grow and helping me, like, heal, from from everything that's happened in my life. And I'll tell them why I started listening to them, why they helped, like try to say it. But
I don't
but yeah.
even know if there's a way that we would be able to explain to them like what they've done for us, how much happiness and comfort they bring every day. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but they can just instantly make you feel better.
It's crazy. I never thought I would ever feel that way for an artist or any celebrity. I never thought that was like a thing, like I didn't think like someone would be able to do that for you until I met, not just met BTS, but met like the two groups I stand, like the two main groups that I stand,
Hmm.
like, or until K-pop pretty much came into my life. Like, like just hearing their music, like on my downest days, like I could just put a random K-pop album or like any group or any playlist and like im instantly I feel like my days got a little bit better just hearing them. Like when I drive, I like tend to have like anxiety. So like I have a reason why I listen to K-pop while I drive. It's because they help me with my anxiety. If I say no, I'm not changing the playlist, it's because I'm starting to have anxiety while I'm driving. Like, it's just like, and they help me relax. And they just like,
Yeah.
they center me in a way. Like, I could be angry, I could be like sad, but once I hear them, even if I don't, even if I'm not comprehending what they're singing or what song it's playing, just hearing their voice is just like, it's a weird like effect. Is just like a whole type of like I wouldn't say rush, but it's just like something in my body just like calms down. Like,
Yeah.
that is it sort of
I
serotonin? I think it feels like I don't know. It's something in me that's like, centers me and I feel a little bit better and like, okay, I could deal with whatever it is
no,
that I have to
I
deal.
I feel that because whenever like I would be going through something, it's like you just put their music on and you just feel like so comforted, like they just
Mhm.
wrapped a blanket around you,
Yeah.
like I would get so I remember I used to like if I was mad, I would just like throw on a Run BTS episode or something or an Ateez video, and I would instantly feel better because I was like, okay, I need to calm down. I'm really angry right now. I need to calm down. I need to just focus on something that will make me happy or feel better. And I already knew like as soon as I would put one of those videos on or listen to their music, I'd be fine.
Exactly. It's crazy. 'Cause, yeah, no, like I felt the same way. Like whenever I was sad or whenever I felt like I had my hardest days, like I just put on one like any song, any album, any playlist, K-pop, and I just listen. And like, like yeah, I'll still keep crying, but like at the same time it's just like there's like I feel like they're holding me as I'm like crying. Does that make sense? Like that's what it always feels like whenever like I'm like, at my lowest. I always feel like they're hugging me. I feel like, like they're like I wouldn't say safety net, but my comfort
Mm-hmm.
blanket, comfort something. I don't know. But like they
I
really have had like, that big influence in our like in a
Yeah.
lot of people's lives, I feel like. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much of an influence they
Mm-hmm.
have because I don't think they understand what a lot of
No.
people like would go through. And like I think that goes with sayings like don't judge a person because of the music they listen to because you don't know what they went to. You don't know why they like these certain groups. You don't know why like they listen to them 24/7. Like this could be like there could be something that happened and these groups help them get through it. You just never know. And yeah, maybe there's other people out there who didn't have these type of experiences and like them for other reasons, but I don't think there's any room to judge who a person should like or not like.
I just don't think I just don't get it when people judge other people for liking a certain thing, because it's like everyone has their own opinions, everyone has their likes and dislikes. It's not going to be the same as yours. But why would you put someone down for liking a certain thing just because you don't? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense to me.
It really doesn't.
But I guess that's why, like, I was never really embarrassed to like K-pop or like put it out there. I think it was more of like I just knew that people wouldn't understand unless
Yeah,
they were also into K-pop. Like, you know,
yeah.
it's since it's so different, it's like they just don't get it.
No, I get it. I think like I'm not in like now I'm not embarrassed anymore, but like I won't openly be like, "Oh, hi, I'm Christina. I like K-pop." You know, like if it comes up, like if they tell me, "Oh, do you like K-pop?" I'll be like, "Yeah." You know, I'll be happy to say yeah. But if it's not going to be in the conversation, I'm not going to be like, "So, what K-pop group do you like?" You know, like it's because like if I do say something, I don't want to be angry and go off on them also. You know, like I don't want to have that negative feeling for liking K-pop, if
Because
that
it's
makes sense.
also like if they judge you about it, like
Hmm.
you don't want them to know you like just as like, oh, she's that girl that
Hmm.
likes K-pop. Because then
Hmm.
it's like they're putting that label on you, and it's like it's not
Yeah,
a bad thing, but
it's not.
they might make it seem like that.
Hmm. And it feels like it scares other people into liking K-pop as well, or like getting into these groups, getting into the music is because of like the negativity that a lot of people will start bringing. You
Yeah,
know, like you, yeah, no, like exactly, like you might not understand why a person likes it, but doesn't mean you should judge a person
yeah.
who likes it because you never really know. Like I said, like you don't know where they came from. You don't know why they started liking them. You know, it's just like if you want to know them, listen to their story fully without judgment. Like, you know, like I don't even think my family understand, like maybe yeah, my family or my friends like understand the full reason why I like these certain groups, like K-pop. Like I think only probably like you, probably like my cousins, my best friends are the only people who really understand why I like BTS or 17 or MonstaX or all these other groups because they were there for me when I needed it. Like they were that, comfort. But like other people, like my family probably they probably think I like it because of my sister, but they don't know like, oh, no, I like it more than that. Like, yeah, it was the starting point, yes, but that's not the full reason why I like these songs, these people. But yeah.
I just think I mean, it's like what we've been saying. They just won't understand unless they go through it too. And there's really no need for people to judge for liking something just because they don't like it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter to you. What does me liking K-pop have anything to do with you? I'm not
Hmm.
bothering you in any way.
Yeah.
So, like, you like your things, I'm gonna like mine, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember a while ago, like I would want to post like achievements or something cool, like something I see like on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, like reposting it. And before, like I was scared to repost something or scared to share something when I feel like they did something like an amazing achievement or there was amazing music video or performance. Like I want
Hmm.
to like share it. Like even
Yeah.
if you like them or not, I wanted to share it. But then part of me, I remember before, like I would be scared to share it because I was scared what other people would think.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I would share it just to like I would just do like the close friends and share it through there or I'll just share it but like private it so that it's only me who sees it and then like little by little I started like not caring like I think first it was like Twitter. I started like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just gonna repost like whatever. I don't care, this is probably gonna turn into a K-pop stan Twitter. Like if they unfollow me, because who gives it, like, whatever. And then, it's like, okay, that's the first step. And then I did like Facebook and I started sharing a couple of things whenever I came across a video or I liked it and I didn't care for it. And then like now with Instagram, like I remember I even made like a Stan account, but technically it was like my Stan account plus my collecting trading account. So it's
Mm.
like, oh, I'll just repost all that stuff here. But I think now at this moment I feel like, I don't care if I post something about BTS 17, whoever I like, it's gonna go on my main account too. If I see it on my main account, I'll post it on there. If people see it, they see it. Who cares? If they say something, I don't care. I'm posting it there. I'm not gonna change my close friends. I'm not gonna do anything for their benefit. I'm gonna do it for me, you
Yeah.
know? And like it's like I like if you want to see my stories, go ahead. If you don't, then you know what? I don't
You
care
just skip
anymore.
it. Like,
Yeah, skip it, skip
that's
it. Who
it.
cares?
There's no
Yeah,
harm.
like this is for my own benefit. This is for me. Like this is my page. Like I'm putting this up because I want to either rewatch it later or I want certain people to see or something or I want
You
to
want to
see for
share
myself.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give praise to these guys because they did so great. And like people, whoever wants to see it, see it. If you don't, then don't. Then I think I've come to that terms in my life where I don't care what other people say or what people like think if I like K-pop. Like, yeah, I like K-pop, so what? Like, yes, I like BTS, but you can think whatever you want. I don't have to explain myself to you, give you my
Hmm.
full story unless you really want to hear it, you know?
It's like
Like,
you, other people post their music that they listen to,
mhm,
and maybe other people do judge them, but just because it's K-pop, it's no different. That's the music I listen to. That's what I want to post. So I'm going to post it. It's just the same thing as you posting your music, you know? Just
like,
because it's K-pop doesn't make it different. And I think sometimes I do like hold back on what I want to post if it's about K-pop, but I think it's because I just don't want to show people how much of a fangirl I can be.
I mean, there are some posts that
like
I'm just like, I really want to repost this, but you know what? I don't even think it's good for me to repost this for myself. Whenever it's just like, yeah.
well,
If
like
you know what I mean.
I
You
know,
know what I mean.
I know. To
Even just
me, I used to be like a huge fangirl for One Direction. Like, I think that was like back in high school. I was a
feels like
huge fangirl.
that's like the stepping stone. Feels like, let's
Yeah,
be
but
real. For a lot of starter stands.
I was a I was different with them. Like the way I love BTS or other K-pop groups is so different. The way I fangirl for them is so different than how I did
Really?
with One Direction. I don't even know how to describe it. It
No, I
just
totally
feels
understand.
so different, and it feels like, I don't know, people might say I'm delulu or there's a parasocial relationship or whatever, but it's just the way I feel with them, or like the happiness that they bring me. It's so different because you really do feel
Yes.
like you know them on a certain level. Like, obviously we don't really know them because
Mhm.
we haven't met them, or like,
Yeah.
we only see what they show us on cameras and stuff. But just based on that, and based on all the things that they put out, it really does make you feel like you know them, or at least a part of them.
No, I totally understand what you mean. It's just like a whole different type of level that I think only K-pop stands understand. Like you're not alone. That's for sure. Like I feel that way too. Like, like probably my stepping stone into it, probably, like my first like boy group that I've ever loved was probably like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. Like I was in love with them. I remember having like the Justin Timberlake Barbie doll or like the NSYNC
Oh.
one. Like I had all of them, I think. I think I got them all. I don't remember. They're probably gone now. But like I had them all. Like that was like, like but the way I loved them, like I could remember how I like loved them. I loved their music, still do to this day. And but it's not the level of the way I feel for these 7 guys or 13 guys. Like, it's completely different. And it's like you want to explain it to someone, but you can't explain it because it's
Mhm.
like it's hard to explain. And unless you explain it to like you don't even need to explain it
it's
to another K-pop stan. Like they understand already. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
got it. Don't worry.
It's
So it's
something you
just
have
like,
to
yeah.
feel to be able to know what we're talking
Mhm.
about.
Yeah, it's like a whole different type of level and it's different. It's just yeah. it's crazy different. 'Cause like even with like Big Bang, like yes, I did love them, and yes, like they were amazing, and I loved their songs. But for some reason, like even if I'll always consider them as my number one group, they didn't, or maybe it was because of the timing or whatever, but it doesn't feel like it's in the same level as BTS or 17, to me at
Well, I
least.
think part of it is that K-pop now is really different than it was, with Big Bang. Like, it's so
True.
big now, and even not even just on the level of how popular it is, it's like the way the performances are these days, like groups
It's a
really
lot
go
different.
all out. Yeah.
They really do.
I think
Sorry.
to me, K-pop has like really evolved from like second gen groups to now.
Yeah, no, really is. It's crazy. Like, oh my God. Like, I wish everyone will experience their favorite K-pop group live one day. I wish that for everyone because once you see them live, it's just like, wow. It's like a whole different level. I'm just like, oh my God, it's different.
My friends went to an Ateez concert and I wasn't there, and one of my friends never fails to remind me, and I'm pissed.
Damn, damn, that's ouch. But I mean, like, it really is a different level though. I really do wish everyone to get tickets one day, be able to watch their favorite K-pop artist live because like really it's oh my God. I'm still at like a high and it's been a year since I watched BTS and it's just like they're amazing performers live. It's been how many months since I've seen 17 live and I'm just like I'm still recovering and it's just like they're just so good performing no matter what seat you're in, no matter where you are. I mean, obviously floor is always the best, but
Well,
I'm just saying. But no, really, like, no matter what floor, what matters, what seat, it feels like you don't have a bad seat. Like, I've sat on floor, I've sat on the bleachers, like, they're all so good seats, and you still get the same amazing performance. It's just like, wow. Like, but the funny thing is, like, I don't think, like, the people around me, like my family or friends, like, understand how amazing these concerts really are. Like, they could see it, but I don't know. Maybe they'll just never experience it. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if you've seen it, but there's this one TikTok I saw, and I think it was, oh, I don't remember if it what concert it was, but basically there, when you walk out from like the halls and into the tunnel and until you get out there,
Yeah,
and I don't know how to describe it, but the TikTok just shows like how the whole atmosphere just immediately changes once
it
you get
does.
out of the tunnel.
It
And
really
it looks
does.
like, oh, it's so amazing.
It's like, oh, you. So like yeah, I totally understand. It's like it's just like you step into a whole different universe, a different world. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, especially once like the concert dims down and you see like all the light sticks like going off, and it's just a beautiful ocean. It really is. It's just like, oh my gosh. But it's funny because like I've had floor seats for BTS concerts and I've had stand seats. But to me, at least, it's probably a different experience for everyone, or maybe they'll think differently. But for me, I felt like seeing the ocean and being in the ocean on the stands was so amazing because you really get to see so much of it. Like when on
True.
floor, like I only got to see like the tops of everyone, but I didn't get to see like the floor, you know? Like I didn't see it that well. But once you like looking down on it's just like, oh my God, you really feel like you're in the ocean. It just like it's so beautiful being in that sea of purple. It's just like I miss it so much. It's okay.
I know. I'm like
But
manifesting K-pop
I kind of
tickets.
but no, it's so crazy. But like it's funny talking about K-pop concerts and K-pop like the tickets. Like like when I first tried to get tickets for BTS. It was for their Speak Yourselves tour in LA. And it was like my first time. My sister was trying to get her tickets with her friends, and me and my cousin was gonna go. And at first I was just like, why is this so hyped up? Like my sister was like going crazy. She was like setting up a floor plan. She was like, okay, we need like plan A, plan B, and everything. She was like all over the place. I was just like, why is this? Like, what's going on? And and I remember us being in the living room, and she was like, she had her computer up. She had two computers up. She borrowed my computer. So she had two computers up. She had her tablet. She was on the phone with her friend. Her friend has like her computer, her tablets up. And then I guess like another friend was on the phone with Ticketmaster. Back then we were able to get tickets on Ticketmaster still. And like they were and they were like counting down like till like the screen change, and I remember like the blue man, and I'm just like she's like going crazy. And then I looked at the number, I'm like 2,000 plus. I'm like, holy shit, why is that so many people? Like I bought tickets for other like concerts before, and it was nothing like this, like totally different experience. And I was just like, and then I started fainting because I was just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then me and my cousin are like going on our computers, we're like, oh my God, it was crazy. And then like we ended up like calling Ticketmaster, and we were able to get tickets. But and then we it was just crazy. And then we ended up like getting like tickets off like Facebook also, and we're just like it was such a crazy experience. And I'm just like, this is not like anything like I've ever witnessed before. This gave me so much anxiety, so much stress just to buy a ticket to a BTS concert. And then like I think the next time around I was like a pro. I was just like, I got this. Like I had everything. I was like, okay, no stress. I had like my prayer circle around me. So, my crystals. I'm like, I got this. I'm good. Yeah. I got good seats, but that concert got canceled. But and then, when they came back, I did the same thing, good tickets still, but like I got better at it. And I was just like, I'm good, but still a whole different experience. And I thought, like I thought it was just BTS because like when I went to a first 17 concert, it was easy also. But then I don't know, this year supposedly it's just been crazy with all like the concerts coming out. So I'm like, yeah, that was stressful. It's stressful getting tickets. It's like I think I grew like gray hairs every time tickets for concerts came out. And like I remember I saw this TikTok where like there's this girl, she was like making jokes about like, oh what did she say? She was like, oh, when Western artists announce their concerts, it's like a couple months in advance or a year in advance or something like that. But then like when it comes to like K-pop concerts, it's announced like the moment you're about to buy the tickets. You're like, okay, we drop in a concert. Here are the dates, which is like, like feels like it's really true. They literally only give you like a month,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, why?
I
Why would
know.
you do that to me? But yeah,
No.
it's just a crazy. It's a crazy type of world in a way. Like K-pop, like is like you don't know how crazy it could be until you're in it. Like until you're really witnessing it. Like you
Mhm.
could hear from it, you could hear it from your friends, you could hear it from your family members, you could, maybe take a step into it, but you don't realize how crazy the K-pop world, K-pop community can really be until you're fully immersed in a way, feels like, you know?
That's why I feel so grateful that so many of my friends are into K-pop too, because I can share it with them. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I have a K-pop channel in my Discord.
I know, I see it sometimes.
Yeah,
I like
like
looking at it.
I just love posting in there and being able to share things, share posts with my friends, and they comment on it too. And some of my friends aren't like as into K-pop, but they'll still say something, or because they recognize a good talent or a handsome face. That's just an extra thing.
To be real. Maybe one day I'll sprinkle a little something something in there.
I
We'll
know.
see.
I'm waiting for the day that you do.
I don't know if you guys can survive it.
You know what? I'm gonna post Jimin in there. I know you'll say something.
No, it feels like someone already has. Actually, I think someone
I
posted like
probably have.
17 on there, and I'm just like, oh, someone likes 17. But
Oh
I love
yeah.
how they're getting so much more popular now. It's just like, I love it.
You
But
tried
I
to
also hate
gatekeep
it.
me from.
Hey! No, I love it, but I also hate it. But I think it's me being selfish because I still want good seats at concerts.
As if
But
we
it's
wouldn't
just
go together.
just kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
See that,
I'm kidding.
everyone? She's
I'm kidding.
gatekeeping.
I love them. No, Camille did the same thing with 17. She was like, I love that they're so popular, but I also don't like it because there's so much more people in the concerts. And I'm like, yeah.
That's how I
But I
feel
do love it.
too. I
I
mean,
do love it.
Stray Kids is already like pretty
You're
big,
on
but with Ateez, like they're still not as that big, I feel like. And
they're
after
getting
their
there though.
most recent, I know, and I'm like,
They're getting there.
please.
They're getting there fast. It's crazy. Like it usually takes a little bit, couple more years, and then they get there. But no, like they're good. That's why they're really good. Like I've started to listen to a couple AT songs and Stray Kids songs. Actually, no, I've been listening to them here off and on, but like they're really good actually. Like and their
uh,
music videos are pretty good.
Girl, I will tell you everything. Don't get me started with that.
Yeah, they're really good. But yeah, there's like I think I'm at a point. I don't know. Maybe it's because BTS are going into their enlistments. So I'm like, okay,
Mm.
maybe I could like other groups now and Jimin won't start popping off, jumping into my feeds all of a sudden. But it feels like honestly, even if he goes, it feels like he's still gonna show up.
He's gonna,
Just
yeah.
still gonna find a way to show up. I'm just like,
Wait,
thanks, guys.
did you ever like? I don't know if this is a thing, but I feel like a lot of K-pop stans always talk about how, with how much we like consume K-pop or think about K-pop, but you don't really like dream about them.
Oh no, that's not true to me.
Oh,
I
that's not
dream
true.
about my. Oh
I mean,
no,
like I
I dream about
have,
my.
but barely.
Oh no,
I
they're
would just
coming to my
think
dreams
that
a
it would
lot.
happen more often because of how much I think about K-pop.
There'll be times where they won't like maybe like there'll be times, but honestly, they come into my dreams a lot. And sometimes it's not even just like sometimes they'll just like walk into my dream, kind of like they'll just have an appearance, but they won't say or do
Mm.
anything.
Oh,
And then
okay,
there's
yeah.
some dreams where it's just like really intense. So it's just like, oh, okay. I wake up, be like, damn it. And
He,
it's funny because like sometimes I won't even be listening. I wouldn't listen to them. Oh no, I listen to them before I go to bed. I wouldn't think about them. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't
Mhm.
like yeah.
They just
I don't
like
know. But
show
they do
up
yeah.
randomly.
They just show up in my dreams sometimes.
I
Sometimes it's I
barely, I think I barely like dreamed about them, but for some reason, the like, I think Tay is the one that shows up in my dreams the most. Like someone does show up in my dreams, it's usually him, and I don't know why.
it's funny. I think I had a K-pop dream last night, but it was with I think it was no, I want to say Tay was in it, but I think it was just Jimin and Jungkook. I think it was only those two, and I think it was those two. It feels like there was someone else in there, but I can't remember my full dream.
I
I can't
wouldn't.
remember. But yeah, it's funny. Jimin doesn't come into my dreams that much. It's actually Jungkook that comes into my dreams more.
Uh,
Please don't come at me. Yeah, that. It's not. We're not doing it now.
that's
I mean, just
crazy.
kidding. It's funny because like yeah, he's always in my dream. Like yeah. But then I also
Okay,
have
I
more dreams
get
as Coops
it.
also. I have a lot of dreams as Coops also. So, but Jimin doesn't come into my dreams that much.
See,
I
I
don't know
wonder
why.
if that's a thing. Like,
He's mad at me.
our biases aren't really in our dreams as much.
Maybe that's a sign.
A sign of what?
I don't know. I'm just saying a sign. Not
Our
to be
bias
sad.
wreckers are like, hey, we exist too.
Maybe, I don't know. It's funny. I don't know. I have so many crazy dreams. It's so weird. I think they come up more. No, I don't know. They come so randomly. It's so weird. And they're like weird scenarios sometimes.
Wait, you want to know something funny?
Mm.
Like, before I really started standing BTS, like hardcore, I had a dream, and I had this boyfriend, and in the dream I had this boyfriend, and I didn't like recognize his face. You know when your dream kind of just like
Mm.
makes someone random, like you don't know them or anything. Yeah, so like that guy was my boyfriend, but his name was Jungkook.
It was in his face.
No, it wasn't him. I
I
don't
think
think.
it feels
I
like
don't.
I had a dream like that, but I don't think so. I don't. Oh no, I had a dream, but it was Jimin's face, but his name wasn't Jimin. Yeah, yeah, there you go. I was like, it feels like I had a dream like that, but it was the opposite. It was his face, but it wasn't his name, and
Oh,
it wasn't
that's
even a
weird.
Korean name. I think. I think it was like totally different name. I don't remember
His
the name
name was
though,
like
but
Jake.
Christian, Christopher. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it was a weird dream. It was really funny. But yeah. Um, like it just wasn't coming out properly.
You okay?
Like, I was just thinking of Jimin. I was
Yeah,
just
now
like,
you just stumbled on your words because you thought about Jimin. I get
yeah,
it.
it happens a lot. He'll come into my mind. Um, I was gonna say something and then I forgot.
See, this keeps happening to us this episode because we're getting so distracted, I feel like.
Yeah. And usually like I don't have like any of my like K-pop stuff in my front like on hand or like near me, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, I have my desktop and my wallpaper is BTS N17 and there's like two pictures of Jimin and S Cubes on here and it's really distracting. And, like I usually just have my like regular computer and like like I could easily hide it because it's a smaller screen, but this one's like my desktop so it's a bigger screen so like everything's like perfectly spaced out and I could still see them. And it's funny because I also have this picture and it keeps looking at me every time I turn around. It's so cute.
You printed that as a Polaroid? Oh
It
my
was like my
god.
test run because I got the Intex pull printer for Christmas, and I needed like to test it out. And this was the first picture I wanted to test out on, and it was so cute. It is so cute.
That looks really good.
It's a really cute picture. Anyway, so it keeps distracting me every time I turn my
I know.
head, and I'm just like, damn it.
I have some of
But
my
yeah,
photo cards right here. I have like a cell phone stand, but I never put my phone there. It's Jungkook.
put your pictures. Ah, it's crazy. Like yeah. I don't even know where we're going with this anymore. I know it feels okay. Huh. Feels I had a good question and I forgot it. Oh, I did want to ask you if you had the opportunity, let's make it easy. Let's make it with just BTS. If you had the opportunity to spend it's perfect 7 each day, 1 day a week with one member, what would you do with each member?
That's hard. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know why I just thought of this, but I feel like it would be really fun to try and cook something with Jin.
It's one of mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that like, Yoongi cooks too, but for some reason I just think it would be so funny with Jin. Can you
It
imagine
really feels
like
like I would. And
shooting a
that's one of
video
my
with
things.
him?
Yeah.
That would be so
That's
fun.
yeah. Yeah, no. Jin definitely cooking with Jin. I would love to cook with Jin. Um, I've thought of this actually before. Like I think it was with I don't know if it was with my cousin or one of my friends or my sister who brought this up. I think it feels like it was my sister who brought it up. But with RM, I do want to have like an intellectual conversation with
Mm,
him. Like probably like
yeah.
go around the museum and just like talk about the meaning of life or something, or like, just having like a really deep conversation with him because
Yeah.
it feels like that would be so interesting to have with him. Just like
That's what I would want to do.
it's picking at his brain. I definitely would want to do that with him. With Suga, I think honestly, wouldn't mind making music with him. Like, just like being
Hmm.
in the studio and just like either learning how to, I don't know, try to like make songs. I don't know, something like that. But I know I would definitely want to like hear him and see the process of him making music because it feels like it's such a beautiful thing because he could make such amazing music, like for anyone, whether it was with BTS or another like K-pop group or K-pop artist. Like it feels like he writes so beautifully. I definitely
And
would
not
want
even
to
just
experience.
writing, producing too.
Yeah, yeah. So like any of that, I definitely would want to do that with him. And then like, like Jin, we already said like cooking. Definitely want to try cooking with him. Maybe go fishing. Honestly, like
I
I'm not a
was
fishing type
thinking
of
that.
person, but like it feels like it would be really fun to go fishing with him. I don't know. But yeah, fishing. Hobie, definitely want to take dance lessons off him. Like, teaching me how to dance. Give me a little dance moves. Definitely that. With Tay, I think I want to like paint because like I know he's like really like, he has like a really artistic vibes to him. So I either want to go like do painting with him or like go take pictures, like stuff like that because I know how artistic he could be. So definitely want to give that a shot with him. Jungkook, I remember because like before he was really 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 into like video games. And like I don't know how into it he is now, but I still think I want to play video games with him. I want to like beat him at something,
I
kind of
think
think
if
it would
I
be
were to
fun.
do that with him, I would get way too competitive. Like both of us are so competitive and we would just want to win.
That's true. Oh my God, but don't you play Valorant, right? Don't you
I
play that?
I play a few games, yeah.
Doesn't he play that too? Is that the game that he
He
plays? The
no,
before?
him and
Oh,
Tay would play Overwatch.
oh,
Yeah.
Overwatch. Okay, I knew it was something with shooting, right?
Which I do play, but like
I really want to play a shooting game with him though. I'm not gonna lie. I know I probably would die because like I'm not the best shooter. I like, but I wouldn't mind it. It would be fun just playing around with him on that. I think that would be for sure. With Jimin though, oh, there's a lot of things I want to do with him, but
yeah.
what are you thinking?
There's
Ask
just
me.
a lot of things you want to do with him, that's all.
You sure? It feels like you're laughing and I know what you're thinking, Maribel.
I
I'm
just
not dumb.
know
I know you.
that
Just
one day for you would not be long enough with Jimin. That's all.
maybe, maybe not. Feels like there's a lot because he's. I don't know. Maybe this is just me being biased. I like he could do so much. I definitely want to just spend the day with him, like going to the park. It feels like I just want to go on a date with him. Let's just be real. I want to go
Exactly.
to the park with him. I want to go grab dinner with him.
It's like it's more of like what would you not want to do with Jimin?
I want to go dancing with him also. I wouldn't mind picking his brain. It feels like he has a lot to say too. Like whenever I see like their variety shows and like they do like their like the vacation ones like in the soups or their older ones, it feels like he always has like that moments where he's talking with the members and it's just like I don't know, I kind of want to have that too with him. Also, it feels like I wouldn't mind picking his brain a little, seeing the real Jimin. I wouldn't mind seeing that.